welcome back to the New Movie Thing show where we talk about brand new movies that are out in the theaters. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm William Haynes.
And today we saw the movie Sex Tape, so you don't have to. Sex Tape is a movie ostensibly about a couple that's losing their mojo and they really want to get that sex back. And we learn in the first 10 minutes how much sex they used to have. How much sex did they have, Will?
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch. How much do they have now, Will?
Not a whole bunch.
Problem! Let's fix it. This movie is like, it's a movie of missed opportunities. Like, it's got good people in it. Jason Segel, the Cam Diaz, Rob Corddry can't even save it. Jack Black in a surprise cameo that should save the movie but doesn't because it's already that bad.
Improved it. I would like to say my favorite part of the movie was Jack Black.
When he was in it. The 5 minutes that Jack Black was on screen was the most entertaining part of the movie. Bad part? It's an hour and 20 minutes in. There's a good director and there's a good cast, but the script, it feels like it went through the studio process so many times that anything fun in it just got erased after just notes and notes and notes. Well, it's not intentional, but when a movie is in development for way too long, the wrong things get carried over from draft to draft and lots of people give their input trying to save it. But the problem is, most of the people who work as executives in the movie business don't know anything about movies. They come in with business degrees and they're able to stay on in their jobs because they know how to save money. Or they get lucky with a movie that does well, regardless of whether or not it's a good movie. So whatever was fun about this movie, the reason that it got greenlit in the first place, it's no longer there. And, you know, I gotta give it up to Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz because they sell everything. They are so committed in every part of this movie, they do everything they can to make it funny.
I looked at Cameron Diaz's mouth the entire movie. It's a good thing.
So you were only looking at her mouth and not the copious side boob and butt? There was lots of side boob and butt.
Nah, it was mostly mouth. I was like, I'm really impressed by her mouth.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It is the youngest part of her right now.
That doesn't make sense. There are definitely parts of the movie that I did enjoy. I feel like sometimes in movies, like people, like the writers are like, I'm also a stand-up comedian and I have these stand-up jokes that I'm just gonna incorporate into the script that are kind of irrelevant, but kind of say something about society and where it is now. That's totally what I would do, and I feel like they just did that. And it was kind of out of nowhere, like why did that person just say, in real life, people never really just say like, you know, like, things that comedians say.
You don't have any examples. You're just kind of
that time that Jason Segel said that thing, and then I was like, wow.
The movie's so boring, you can't even remember a line like to make your example. Okay, almost an hour into the movie, Jason Segel, he turns to his wife, he's like, it's a good thing that you're a lightweight when it comes to cocaine. You should be a lightweight when it's cocaine.
Can I just talk about the cocaine thing made me sad? Like,
yeah. Like
I was watching this, so there's a part in the movie where there's some cocaine is involved with Cameron Diaz, and just seeing her doing that was just making me like, man, I don't really want to look at her mouth right now. It just got me sad.
It just made me think like, man, I hope that Cameron Diaz and Rob Lowe don't do cocaine in real life.
Can I talk about the fact that in Rob Lowe's house, he has, no, that's a spoiler. There's some really weird things that he has in his house.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie and realize the things that he has in his house, I want in my home, but of me.
But the problem is, the thing that he's talking about, and again, we're trying not to spoil it because it's one of the only jokes in the movie, is that in a funnier movie, if we were having a good time during this 20-minute long sequence at Rob Lowe's house that is so long for no reason, this like weird specific would actually be very funny, but instead it's just strange because they keep cutting away from like really excruciatingly boring action to these, I'll just say they're paintings.
Some very nice paintings that I wish I owned.
Why did they make this sex tape? Why did they make it, Will?
They made the sex tape because their sex life had become so dull, so boring that they needed something to spice it up. Like bam, like Emerald, just spice it up.
But that's the thing, that's not what happens in the movie. Because they decide to let's have a night together to have some sex, and they're both really excited by it. And she's wearing the hot roller girl outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not roller derby, but like roller girl.
Yeah,
roller
like
derby is different.
With like teeny tiny panties. On a scale from 1 to 10, how tiny were these panties?
They were pretty tiny, but not as good as her mouth area. That was much better than the panty area.
He's obsessed with mouths. They try to have sex, but they're too awkward and clumsy. And now, Jason Segel can't get a boner. So, they get drunk and make a sex tape. Why didn't she just put it in her mouth? I'm sorry, there's no way to say this without sounding like really bad.
What?
But like, what couple doesn't think like, maybe let's try touching it for a hot second and seeing if there's any reaction? Does she need it to stand on its own for her to be attracted to him in the least bit? You've been married for so long.
You should teach sex ed. So kids, if you're having issues in the bedroom, put it in your mouth. Oh my goodness.
Put it in your mouth. Just put it in your mouth. You don't have to make a sex tape and then have this whole ludicrous plot that doesn't make any sense.
Actually, you should be
just put it in your mouth.
You should be a writer for R. Kelly. That should be an R. Kelly song.
It probably
put it in
is.
your mouth.
Just put it in your mouth. It's already a song, actually.
That's on auto-tune. Is it really already a song?
It's not necessarily an R. Kelly song, but I know it's already a song.
Someone has already made Put It in Your
Mouth. Well, if you were making a sex tape with Cameron Diaz, what would you do in it?
I'd take the iPad, put it right on her mouth.
And then what?
And like, I didn't want people to find it.
No, would you have sex with her, or would you just put an iPad on her mouth? That's not a sex tape.
I mean, yeah, I'd put it near her mouth and then do my thing, you know, the whole whatever it is you do. And then, I don't know, what would you do?
Well, first things first, I'm a realist.
No. Apparently, IMDb, us regular folk gave it a 5.1 out of 10.
Not great, not a great rating.
That's not super good, that's not super well.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, it got an 18% from critics and 53% from audiences. So audiences are enjoying it more than the critics, but not enough to deem it a good movie.
As usual.
Yeah.
Critics are just so critical sometimes.
Yeah. If you like the people in it, you might like this movie. There's some raunch in it. If you're just interested in seeing Cameron Diaz kind of naked, you get that.
There was a lot of that, huh?
And Jason Segel's pretty naked too, and he's skinnier than he was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, so if you like that.
He had to work out because, yeah, he did.
Yeah, and if you want to see Jack Black have fun for the first time since 2009, you could do that too.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
All right, guys.
Next to Cameron Diaz's mouth.
I hope you enjoyed this more than we enjoyed Sex Tape. Please let us know what you thought of the movie in the comments if you dare to go see it. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm William Haynes.
Till next time, just put it in your mouth. Just touch it for a second and see if maybe he'll get a boner. Just touch it. You don't need to make a sex tape. Just touch it.
That creates additional issues.